Yes, it all started out as a mild curiosity in the junkyard.
There are some corners of the universe which have read the most terrible things.
Go away.
Always remembering, of course, not to reverse the polarity of the neutron.
Change, my dear. It seems on a moment too soon.
Decision.
Don't worry, it's bigger on the inside.
Doctor Who.
Excuse me, do you mind not farting while I'm saying the word?
More of the big
I always read the instruction.
Kidneys! How can you kidneys?
Would you like a jelly baby?
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Welcome to episode 207 of Doctor Who Time and Space. We really need some heroes, don't we? We really need some. It's a time for heroes today. It really is.
It's nearly time.
It is nearly time for us to greet our hero, our new hero, and our older heroes, the Doctor, Bill and Nardole, as Doctor Who. Yes, the dark days end only 497 days after Hellbent, so the Series 9 concluded. We have Series 10 beginning, finally, after, it's been one of the most anticipated series. It's been the most anticipated since I was a fan, I think.
I'm bored of it now, really, to be honest. After such a long time, can't be bothered anymore.
But fans have been waiting so long, and today is time for heroes, as people are saying all around, and it's time for us to embrace the brand new 12 episodes of Doctor Who.
So, what do we have on this week's show?
Well,
in anticipation of this.
Yes, it is our big Series 10 preview show. So, as well as previewing Series 10 as a whole, we'll have sort of a preview of the pilot too, with all the hints, teasers, clips, trailers, all sorts of things like that. And what we can expect, as well as a reminder of the synopsis and discussion on that.
Okay. Also on next week's show, we've celebrated the new series by watching the last 2 episodes of the last series.
Yes.
So we re-evaluated Heaven Sent and Hellbent, and we'll be giving our thoughts later on in this programme.
Plus, we've got a reminder of the latest news from the Doctor Who universe.
And that should just about...
Well, actually, we're going to do our top. We usually do this top companion debuts.
Oh, okay.
Remember,
yeah,
we
can
always
do that.
do
Yeah,
those.
yeah, of course we can.
Briefly for about 5 minutes. We always chat about something to do with tonight's episode.
Okay.
In terms of top things from previous. Obviously, we're meeting Bill Potts tonight, so we've got a date with Bill Potts. Well, no, we can't because she's gay.
Chippy.
But
And a chippy.
yes.
So, what are we kicking off with then? What have you been up to this week?
Well, I have been doing a few things hyping up to Series 10. Obviously, getting very, very excited was the majority of the week for the pilot tonight. And it's just I've been thinking through the week, watching numerous interviews and stuff for it, and I've been thinking, it seems weird to have a new series.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll get on to the proper things this week. I was watching some sort of new Who classics to refresh our mind to John Simm's Master returning in Series 10. I watched Utopia, Sound Drums and Last of the Time Lords for the first time since 7 years.
So, what was your thinking on it? Did you enjoy it?
I think it's such an epic episode. The Master's very good, so John Simm's very good. The stakes are so high in the episode. It's like basically the apocalypse.
Yeah. I've never seen this.
Haven't you?
I haven't seen any of the 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you've seen clips, haven't you?
I've seen bits, yeah.
Yeah. But, yes, it's John Simm's first outing as the Master. He also appeared in End of Time, which I watched over Christmas again. But this 3-parter is very good and concludes Series 3 in great style. And Series 3 is amazing near the end because it has Human Nature, Family of Blood, Then you have Blink. Okay. And then Peter Capaldi fashion. And then you have the Utopia Savage Last of the Time Lords, which is such a good run.
Yeah. No,
So
indeed, yeah.
I won't spoil anything that happens, but I'll say I recommend it to anyone who is watching just before Jon Snow returns. If you haven't watched it already or want to watch it again to recap, then it's the perfect episode too. It also has a lot of references to classic who it even mentions the Axons.
Well, okay. Have you done anything else related? Have you been listening to audios this week?
I was continuing Robophobia.
Yeah.
Enjoying it? Yes, very good. Sort of taking the Robots of Death-esque style to it, because it's got the Vok robots.
Oh, of course,
It's sort of a similar sort of story. Introduces Livchenko, the new companion.
Yeah.
And, you know, it shows a darker side to Sylvester McCoy, Doctor.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
Which I like his darker side.
Yeah.
Rather than his comedy side we see in Paradise Towers and all that stuff in the early era.
Okay, I mean, was there anything else that you've really done this week, or is that pretty much it?
Not really.
You haven't watched any more Star Trek since we since we watched one last Saturday?
I forgot about that. No, I didn't get a chance to.
Mm.
Anything you've been doing or not?
Not Doctor Who related, as you
Yeah.
no doubt surprised to hear, but
Yes.
I've been carrying on watching Game of Thrones really.
Oh, yeah.
So I've watched a few more of those, getting towards the end of series 2 for the second time round.
Oh, yeah.
And enjoying it greatly as ever. But that's probably about all to really report on, particularly as we probably need to crack on with the news.
Yeah.
So I imagine we've got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's crack on with the news because we've got some Series 10 hype, gossip, preview things. And let's crack on with it. So then, obviously Series 10's beginning, which is a major point in the Who calendar. This is the most important day in the Who calendar for 2017, I would say. Apart from maybe Christmas, because we have the regeneration and everything. But we're starting off today a very important series of Doctor Who, and it's possibly one of the most important series in years, as we're introducing new companion Bill, and also saying farewell to both Stephen Moffat and Peter Capaldi, and all the things that come around that need to be wrapped up.
Do you think it's fair to say that, in some respects, it's a make or break year for?
What do you mean?
For Doctor Who.
What do you mean?
In terms of the fact that the popularity of the show seems to have waned somewhat in recent years.
It has.
They've obviously had a bit of a break, and it's quite important to see how it's received, I think.
Yes, I'm hoping it will be very good, and obviously we'll share our reviews and thoughts on that on next week's show.
Okay. Well, what news do we have then?
Let's start off with titles, because we started with these last week, but we're gonna continue this week. We've got the titles for the finales added this week. Should I update you with the titles, all of them?
Yep, fire ahead.
So this is the full lineup for this year. So we've got the pilot, which is written by Stephen Moffat and directed by Lawrence Goff. Smile, written by Frank Cockrell Boyce and directed by Lawrence Goff. Thin Ice, written by Sarah Dollard and directed by Bill Anderson. Knock Knock, written by Mike Bartlett and directed by Bill Anderson. Oxygen, written by Jamie Matheson and directed by Charles Palmer. Extremis, written by Stephen Moffat and directed by Daniel Nettian. The Pyramid at the End of the World, written by Peter Harness and directed by Daniel Nettian. Lie of the Land, written by Toby Whitehouse and directed by Wayne Yip. Empress of Mars, written by Mark Gatiss and directed by Wayne Yip. Eaters of Light, written by Rona Munro and directed by Charles Palmer. And then the new ones, World Enough and Time, written by Stephen Moffat and directed by Rachel Tallahay. And The Doctor Falls, written by Stephen Moffat and directed by Rachel Tallahay. What do you think of these finale titles?
The last one sounds very ominous, doesn't it?
It sounds like the Doctor's going to lose at the end.
Yeah. So we should see. It's the odd thing, really, I guess, about the whole concept of the regeneration happening over
Yes.
Christmas. Is that
Yeah.
you... I don't know, I imagine it was going to have a fairly exciting yet dark ending to this series.
It will,
and then launch him with a jovial Christmas ep.
Yeah, I think what will happen is he'll lose at the end, or like the Master or something will win, and then very similar to the one I've been watching, but the Doctor will lose somehow. We'll talk about regeneration in a minute.
When he regenerates into Jenna Coleman.
Yeah, and he it's probably gonna have a happy-ish ending with that. Well, the end of the 12th Doctor, but he'll probably die saving the world or the universe or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever's in stake, or Bill.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Have they finished filming the Christmas one yet? They
Um,
started filming.
no. Well, they film Capaldi's regeneration apparently, but we'll talk about that later on.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Do you want me to move on?
Yes, please.
Synopsises. Last week we had the synopsis for the pilot release, and it's always exciting to get these. We've got 2 official synopsises this week.
Okay.
And we're going to share our opinions on that. Minor spoilers. Very, very minor spoilers. If you don't like hearing anything at all about the episode, then turn off now, because you'll hear a bit more about Smile and Thin Ice, although they don't really give much away. So, Smile. In the far future, at the edge of the galaxy, there is a gleaming perfect city. This brand new human settlement is said to hold the secret of human happiness, but the only smiles the Doctor and Bill can find are on a pile of grinning skulls. Something is alive in the walls, and the emoji bots are watching from the shadows as the Doctor and Bill are trying to unravel a terrifying mystery. What do you think of that?
It sounds more interesting than
I thought.
Yeah, I don't know. There's still the episode that I'm least looking forward to, maybe.
It is, yeah, but it sounds a bit better than what we thought at first. It doesn't sound as silly as you think. Emoji Bots, written by the guy who wrote In the Forest of the Night. See a review of that on episode 206. But Frank Cottrell Boyce writing an episode with creatures which speak emoji in a typical episode 2 format.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's going to be very good.
Yeah.
But it seems better than expected, so hopefully we'll be very pleasantly surprised by that. I mean, next week we'll get Smile, so we'll be talking a bit more about Smile, because there'll be more developments on character, like promo pics and details on that later on in the week. And we'll sort of tell you all about what you need to know of that next week.
Yeah.
It's been confirmed, so it's airing on Saturday the 22nd of April, which is this time next week, or on BBC One, like always, at the time of 7:20 p.m, so the same time as last time.
Yeah. Okay. So it looks like it's going to be on every week, hopefully, same time, same space.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is this year it's clashing. Well, Britain's Got Talent begins at 8 tonight, so that's another major TV point. Luckily, Doctor Who takes the advantage because they're both starting, but Doctor Who's on first, and it's on a more major channel.
Yeah.
So hopefully it will beat Britain's Got Talent. They're both good shows, but hopefully it'll beat Britain's Got Talent.
I think
it
in the
doesn't
end,
matter though.
It doesn't really matter what, in the
No,
end,
what
the
beats
days
who.
of catch-up TV, it's not really that important anymore.
No, it isn't. It's just about people watching it, really.
Yeah.
Should we move on to Thin Ice?
Yeah.
So this is the 3rd episode of Series 10.
Okay.
And the time is to be confirmed on this one as of yet.
Okay.
But we'll have more details on times and stuff. They don't usually come up with the synopsis. They usually come on later on, which is such a pain because you have to do it in 2 news sections.
Yeah.
But the synopsis has been released. In Regency England, beneath the frozen Thames, something is stirring. The Doctor and Bill arrive at the last of the great frost fairs and find themselves investigating a string of impossible disappearances. People have been vanishing on the ice. Bill is about to discover that the past is more like her world than she expected, and that not all monsters come from outer space. It airs on Saturday the 29th of April, and the time is to be confirmed.
Okay.
Thoughts, Mr. Cool?
Yeah, no, it sounds like an interesting one. It's always difficult. It's not really. You can't really go off too much from the synopsis, can you?
No,
Yeah,
it
doesn't really
sort
tell
of
you
gives
too much.
spoiler-free
Yeah,
details, glimpses.
you might as well just say
Yeah.
the Doctor does something.
This is the Regency era episode.
Yeah.
It looks quite cool. I love the Doctor and Bill's getters in Victorian Regency era
Yeah.
England, and I've been looking forward to this one actually.
I'm not
Mainly
sure
because
we've
of the
not been in
Doctor's
this era, have we, before?
Not in the Regency
I don't
era,
think.
no.
No.
So we've been in Victorian many
Mm.
many times, and that's where we thought we were going to go, but we've gone Regency era, which is further back in time.
Yeah.
1814. Get in. Right. Let's see.
Do we have other news?
We do. It's just it's hard to think of orders to do these in.
Yeah.
Official Series 10 interviews. I'm going to touch on.
Okay.
You can see the full official Series 10 interviews. We'll read like 2 questions for each of them
Okay.
and answers.
These from the BBC side.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
These are featuring Peter Capaldi, Paul McKee, Matt Lucas, and Stephen Moffat. You can see these at mrlewismoonadventures.weebly.com, and you can either see these on the Series 10 page, the countdown page, or you can see these fully on the 2017's Doctor Who blog.
Okay.
Let's start with Peter Capaldi. Let's see his answers to about 2 questions. First of all, what have we got looking forward to in Series 10? And he says the show is down to the basic elements, which are these fairly innocent but independent companions travelling with this mysterious creature from outer space who can travel in time and space and take them to the most amazing corners of the universe where they meet terrible monsters who try to kill them. That's at least that's at its very simplest level, but obviously it's more complex and there's more to it than that. But that's pretty much what we do every week. Some seasons have been less like that, but this season very much follows the model of delivering every week. The mysterious creature takes the companions to an exotic and dangerous place.
Okay.
He's going to talk about episode 1 as well. We will meet Bill, the Doctor's new companion, and see her in the world she's used to living in, and then plucked out by the Doctor and taken on adventures. We'll meet some old enemies along the way and some new ones, including a new and strange monster, and we get to see Nardole, played by Matt Lucas, who will be joining us on our travels. One final one from him, and he's talking about working with Pearl McKee. It was great meeting Pearl. She brought a whole new vigour and excitement to the role of the Doctor's companion. She's not that different to older companions in the sense that she's a character that doesn't know anything about the Doctor's life, or about the TARDIS, or about Daleks, or anything like that. So she has to be introduced completely to what's going on in his existence, and that's been a good way of rebooting the show. It allows people who aren't experienced in Doctor Who to experience it for the first time. Should we move on to Pearl McKee, or have you got any thoughts on those statements?
Move on to Pearl.
She's answering what have we got looking forward to in Series 10.
Yeah.
There's a lot of excitement in store, new and exciting adventures, new monsters and some old monsters coming back. We've got a team that see the Doctor through new eyes. I think with Series 10 it's a great place to start if you've never watched Doctor Who, because Bill is so new to the world of Doctor Who, you kind of see everything through her eyes. So as she learns about it, you can learn about it too, which I think is very exciting. We've got some danger in there too. There are some pretty hairy moments, but we've got some humour as well. I hope you enjoy it. Who is Bill Potts? she's been asked. Bill is cool. She's quite young, doesn't really know much about the world. She's very real. She's not had a very easy upbringing, and while she doesn't really let that affect her day-to-day life, it's there under the surface. She can be quite defensive. She's fun. She's a bit geeky. She quite likes sci-fi stuff. She's into space and that type of thing. So when she does go on adventures with the Doctor and discovers aliens are real and that kind of stuff, it blows her mind, which is really cool. Can you describe the relationship between Bill and the Doctor? She answers, it's quite interesting at the beginning. The relationship is very much tutor-student. Has an educating Rita vibe about it at the beginning when they first meet each other. There's a definite fascination for Bill in terms of the Doctor. She's really interested in the way his mind works. He's supposed to be doing a lecture on science and ends up talking about poetry, and he says they're the same thing. Clearly his mind works in a different way to anyone else she's ever met, and which I think is really fascinating for her. One thing he likes about her is that she's not scared about all the things she doesn't know. She always wants to know more. She's keen to get involved, which is one of the things that draws him towards her. Should we move on to Matt Lucas, who plays Nardole, or do you want to talk about any of those?
No, I think carry on with Nardole.
Okay, how has Nardole changed? Now he's a regular traveller in the TARDIS. If so, how? He says, I feel he has. He's more textured, more three-dimensional. You couldn't go through a whole series with him being as cartoonish as he was in The Husbands of River Song.
Phew.
The episode was played for laughs because it was a Christmas special. We get to learn more about him and why he's there. He has a purpose.
That's interesting.
Yes.
He has a purpose. I wonder what his purpose is.
What's his relationship like with the Doctor now? They bicker. He works for the Doctor, but he's never afraid to take him on either. He's not shy in saying when he disagrees with something, and sometimes he's just grumpy because he hasn't had enough sleep. He definitely prefers the quieter life. Oh, and who are your favourite enemies and villains who are coming back from this series? What was it like to film opposite them? Not saying, my lips are sealed. Okay then, Mondasian Cybermen. Stephen Moffat. Now, final one. What have we got looking forward to in Series 10? Series 10 sort of begins the show again. The first episode is called quite mischievously The Pilot. It introduces everything you need to know about Doctor Who and tips you into the universe. It takes up characters, the Doctor and Nardole, who we already know, and Bill, who we're about to meet, and throws them into the universe. They're not equipped to deal with it. They're not armed or wearing armour. They're just flung into that universe and told to deal with it. They become heroes because they hit those moments where there is no alternative. Being a hero is about the time you need to become a hero. It becomes the purest, most innocent version of Doctor Who in a way. It is a brand new person, Bill, walking into the TARDIS. Where will the TARDIS take us? Open the doors, walk out, and there's a monster. Fight it. It is storybook simple. Of course, the story complicates as it goes on because the Doctor is a much more complicated man than he first seems. But it's Doctor Who at its purest, as I would say. Everything you need to know about Doctor Who is explained in that first episode. The cloaking device, the chameleon circuit, the bigger on the inside, all that is there, and you even get to see the Daleks. The idea was just to introduce Doctor Who properly. You need to know nothing before this point.
I'm intrigued by that statement. I know they've talked about it on many occasions about it being a reboot and a pilot and a fresh start, but Stephen Moffat generally has not been able to resist having pointers to
old
classic
episodes
series.
because he's a fan.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, so I find it hard to believe that he's going to be able to completely avoid doing that.
Yeah, I think the first episode he might succeed, but not in the others.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, I don't think it really matters because as long as he doesn't overdo it.
Yeah.
You can have things that are so subtle that it will work. That the age-old fans will recognise the pointers, but it doesn't detract from the enjoyment of those that are coming in fresh.
What about things like using the sonic screwdriver of the Fourth Doctors and stuff, and
that's
picture
right,
of Susan and everything? What do you think of those being in there?
But I guess in the end they're nice for the fans, but it doesn't make a damn bit of difference to the story, I guess.
No, it doesn't. So there's a clip for the pilot as well, which I won't talk about because I haven't watched it. Pilot promo pics. Should we look at some of these?
Okay.
Let's discuss them.
Just like to say that looking at promo pics doesn't work very well on an audio podcast.
Yeah. So
but we can talk about them.
we can talk about them. Let me load up this gallery. So first of all, we've got Bill. Then we've got another picture of Bill from the trailer. Then we've got Bill and Heather talking on a bench. Heather standing and looking at something.
So Heather looks
Probably
like that's the girl that we saw taken over by the
Yes,
water monster.
and I think she's the one. I think she's with. She's in a relationship with Bill.
Okay. Yeah.
Then we've got Bill looking. Heather, water, Heather. The Doctor and Nardole walking along.
Do we know for a
Doctor
fact
running.
that this isn't the Flood?
No.
It's a new villain, is it?
I think
we don't know.
We don't know, but I
Okay.
think it's a new villain.
Okay.
It's been shrouded in secrecy, but I think it's a new villain.
Okay.
It's the thing they're talking about new things and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we have the Doctor throwing lots of books. The Doctor and Bill looking at things. Then the Doctor in part of his lectures, and he's writing time and relative dimension in space on the blackboard, or it looks like dinners in space. More lecturing. Bill at Christmas.
Oh.
The Doctor, Nardole and Bill in the TARDIS. Then the Doctor and Bill on the Dalek spacecraft, or whatever, the spacecraft of some form. And then we see Daleks, the Doctor facing a Dalek, Heather again on the Dalek spacecraft, Bill almost touching Heather, Bill and the Doctor disgusted, the Doctor going into the TARDIS, sad, Bill and Nardole on the ship, and there.
Yeah, quite a few shots there. It's
Yeah.
probably most of the episode, isn't it?
Yeah, what do you think of those shots?
Yeah, it's got a lot very Bill heavy, so I think we can assume it's going to be a very Bill heavy episode, I think.
It's going to be, isn't it?
But having said that, if they're trying to introduce the Doctor into it for people, for those that haven't seen the episode before, and they want to be able to sort of say that you can learn everything you need to about Doctor Who while watching this one episode,
Yeah.
then I guess it's not going to be so Bill centric.
No. Right. Let's talk about regeneration.
Okay.
Right. Obviously, we've got Radio Times and stuff. You can get those in stores. I won't touch on those too much. I've got it. Yeah, it's got lots of details, lots of spoilers about upcoming episodes. But we'll talk about those more in synopsises later on in the months. Peter Capaldi has strongly hinted that we will see a different regeneration for the 12th Doctor. Speaking to the NY Times, Capaldi revealed there's the notion now that it's the same process he's gone through every time, and that's not true. It's only the last couple of regenerations that have been, as it were, fairly straightforward ones. I can't go into the details of a lot of it because I know what happens, but I don't know how it happens. Capaldi also elaborated on why it was time to move on. They asked me to stay on, and I loved this show, but I began to get worried about my capacity to deliver my best work. The schedule is very intense, and I began to wonder how many different ways can I find to say the time vortex is going to open up and destroy the entire universe as we know it, unless we blow up that model spaceship over there. It concerned me that if I did more, yes, I'd be able to do it, but I'd just be phoning it in, and I didn't ever want to be in that situation.
Okay.
Any thoughts on that statement? Because we've got more Capaldi talking regeneration.
Yeah, well, a couple of things on there. I can see where he's coming from in the whole thing of it becomes normality, and I guess you could say, you know, even if you look at the Tom Baker era, his best parts are early on in that period, aren't they?
Yes.
Maybe towards the end, perhaps Tom Baker becomes a bit more of a parody of himself rather than being as intense as he is in the early series.
Oh no, he's very dark in this later one.
Yeah. Okay. The other thing that I was thinking about is, what if the Doctor does regenerate, or is partway through the regeneration process in episode 12?
Like, it
And
ends
that-
with him starting to regenerate.
Yeah, and that we see whatever comes out at Christmas is based around the regeneration.
Yeah, well, it's not going to be straightforward, apparently, his regeneration. So
Yeah.
we're going to get something quite complicated in terms of regeneration.
Yeah, or something quite different maybe.
Something quite unique.
Yeah.
That's what they've been saying. It's quite complicated.
Okay, well let's hope so, because and the last thing, I don't really want to see another one with rays shooting out the hands again.
Yeah.
Really, I want to see something a bit more like what we saw with Tom Baker to Peter Davidson or something.
Yes. Peter Capaldi has promised an explosive exit for the 12th Doctor, and that he will go out fighting when he regenerates. So the SMH reports that Capaldi was shooting his last moments at the time they interviewed him. The article begins, Peter Capaldi has just died. I did it the other day, he says. How was it? It was a strange day. It was explosive. He goes out a fighter. This possibly suggests we'll see the regeneration play out for a longer period of time than before, as Capaldi hinted at earlier in the week. Perhaps being forced to imitate the process during Series 10 before actually regenerating in the Christmas special. It feels sad because you're going to say goodbye to everyone you've worked with for 3 years. I am sentimental about it, I am. It's sad because you know that you won't be Doctor Who anymore, but it's sort of joyful because you've made it, you've survived it, and there are other things available for you to do. It's a very special part. You don't take it on to skim it or phone it in. You embrace it, and it takes over your life completely. Moffat also teased all your trauma needs will be served in the series climax. What do you think of that?
I think to me that backs up again what I was saying about it being a something which happens towards the end of the season and works its way into the Christmas episode.
Yes, that'd be
I
good.
Like that. Yeah, that's good.
I like that. Like, very different.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
To see how he regenerates.
Yes.
What happens with it.
We should do something a bit nearer that time as an article on the show about best regenerations or something like that.
On the, what do you think, on our top things, or do you think as a proper...
I actually could do it as a top one, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so, let's conclude the news with a discussion on that VFX videos that have been released all through the last few weeks.
Okay.
And they sort of collaborated that for the Doctor Who YouTube account. What did you think of that teaser? Sort of featured lots of teasers.
It's the ones
together.
with the Doctor Is sort of things with Bill talking and stuff going on. I actually I think it worked at its best when they showed all of them together. Actually.
Yeah, it did very well.
No, I enjoyed that. It was good.
Yeah, cool. Okay. I think that's it for news.
Is it?
What should we move on to next? Our pilot preview.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go on to our preview of the pilot. Yes, this is our Series 10 preview show because where's all the previews? Yes, here it comes. The previews for Series 10 begin with our preview for the first episode of Series 10, the pilot. Should I start this off by reading synopsis?
Yeah, remind us of the synopsis.
So, two worlds collide when the Doctor meets Bill. A chance encounter with a girl with a star in her eye leads to a terrifying chase across time and space. Bill's mind is open to a universe that is bigger and more exciting than she could have possibly ever imagined. But who is the Doctor? And what is his secret mission with Nardole on Earth?
Ah.
Thoughts on the pilot?
So presumably the Doctor must be playing the part of this lecturer.
Yeah, investigating.
So he must be investigating something on Earth. Do we
Yeah.
know that for fact? I'm assuming that's the case.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
maybe that he's the person who usually does the lectures and stuff at the school or the university. St Luke's University has been killed by the killer puddles, and he's investigating. Or
Are the killer
something.
puddles on Earth, or are they? Oh, didn't we? Wasn't there some news at some point a little while back that said something about the Doctor being stranded on Earth?
Yeah, but that was like only for the first episode.
Hmm. But it says about him going on a big adventure through time and space.
Yes, because that always happens.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be stranded on Earth for the whole episode.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
the season opener. It needs to introduce everything you need to know
Yes,
about Doctor Who. And
that's what I was trying to think. Yeah.
Should we go on then to look at some hints and teasers that the lovely people at Doctor Who TV released
Yes.
in the previews for series 10? So we've got 20 teasers here
Okay.
to tease us. I'll read you the first 10 and then you can share your thoughts, and then I'll read the other 10.
Okay. Far away.
Number 1. We get a hint as to how the Doctor reattached Nardol's body to his presumably destroyed body. 2. It's in the corner, just out of the frame. 3. And it's out of order. 4. River Song and Susan, yes, that Susan, make an appearance. The Doctor even says lines to both. Let's see, there's 3s, 4s, 5s, 7s, 9s, 10s and 11s. Beethoven's Fifth, the electric guitar and the sonic sunglasses. Funniest line, I'd fatted her. But this is in context. Bill gets her own version of Doctor Who, which is Dr. Watt, presumably. The opening credits remain unchanged, except the episode title is in a much bigger font. Matt Lucas retains his above title billing. He is listed third as "and Matt Lucas." Bill isn't the only one who is starry-eyed in the episode. Thoughts?
I like these.
Yeah, me too.
It makes you realise that Doctor Who's back, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Because it's been a long time since we've talked through
These
these sort of like teasers.
Because when we do the Christmas special, they release them too close to it.
Yeah. I'm assuming when they talking about Susan and River Song making an appearance that it's through pictures or something like that.
Yeah, Susan's got a picture on her no, the Doctor's got a picture of Susan on his desk.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think theories on some of these. Yes, that'll be a picture of the of her on the desk. I don't know about River Song. Maybe you'll just be talking to her.
Yep.
Imaginary. 3. So these 3s, 4s, 5s, 7s, 9s, 10s and 11s, that's presumably sonic screwdrivers.
Oh, that's a good point, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Beethoven's Fifth, the electric guitar and the sonic sunglasses. Do you think they're all making a return?
Yeah, maybe.
And we get the "and Matt Lucas" returning. That credit we saw in Return to Doctor Mysterio. but with
yeah.
Peter Capaldi, Paul McKee and Matt Lucas.
Yeah, that's it.
It didn't fit in Return to Doctor Mysterio because it just went Peter Capaldi and Matt Lucas and it didn't look right.
Yeah.
Hopefully
yeah.
it will do tonight. And what do you think about the star in her eye thing?
There was the first. Can you just read the first few again? First 5. Have you lost the page? No.
Yeah, I went off of it, but that's okay. We get a hint to how the Doctor reattached Nardol's head to his presumably destroyed body.
Mhm.
It's in the corner just out of the frame. And
Yeah,
it's
that.
out
What does
of
that mean?
order. TARDIS, where it is in the video.
Okay.
Probably.
Yeah.
So we get to see the TARDIS, but it's not in the actual main shot.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, let's see. There's some intriguing ones on there, isn't there?
It's
They're not
all
quite as
intriguing.
cryptic as they are sometimes, but
Yeah, no, they're not. This one, this is the second set of teasers that we've got from Doctor TV. So, number 1. Wait, Is this the Christmas special? 2. There's a moment at 14:31 that immediately made me tear up. This moment is totally one of my favourite Doctor Who moments now.
I'm intrigued by that.
It's meant to be some sort of emotional sequence.
Yeah, I wonder what that's going to be.
Well, yeah, I don't know what's so emotional that's going to happen.
Tom Baker's going to come into it again.
No, I rather think you're right.
That's what we want to see.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Could have something to do with Clara. Probably Clara will come
Yeah.
into it again.
Probably something to do with River Song,
Mm.
actually.
Yes, could do on the basis of the other thing you said. Yeah.
Funniest line that I won't spoil, like a penguin with his something. Is it my imagination or is this taking longer than normal? The obvious flaw in the TARDIS's disguise is revealed. Yes, Pearl McKee did make an error and said that the TARDIS ran from space engine oil rather than Artron energy. She got it wrong on the one show live, which is a bit embarrassing.
Yeah, well, she's only human.
Yeah, psychic paper. I gasped out loud at 38:30 when I realised the specific familiar place the Doctor has taken Bill. That's
interesting, isn't
yeah.
it? Do you know what that is?
No,
What he guesses?
we'll talk about it in a second. That's the Doctor for you. He never notices the specificities of a former companion's exit from the TARDIS become pivotal, and it's kind of heartbreaking. And the TARDIS acronym gets redefined twice. So let's talk through some of these. Wait, is this a Christmas special? So do you think, because we saw a picture of Bill in a party hat, do you think that's how it will begin at Christmas, maybe?
Oh, maybe,
or some point in the episode? Do you
Hmm.
think it's Bill's personal life?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
We talked about the emotional moment. The specific familiar place the Doctor's taken off.
Yes, I'm intrigued by that one.
Yeah, somewhere, Trenzalore, Gallifrey, something like that.
It could be Trenzalore.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be Gallifrey.
No.
Because, and if it is Gallifrey, I'll be a bit disappointed because
Yeah.
it would cheapen it a little bit. Because if you think about it, throughout Who history, there's been this whole thing of him not taking companions to Gallifrey.
Yeah.
Isn't there? You know, you think back to Sarah Jane, who was one of his most beloved
Mm.
companions, and he wouldn't take her there, would he?
Yes, I'm intrigued by that statement.
Yeah. What could it be? What else could it be? Dunno.
Okay, TARDIS acronym gets redefined, so
Okay.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
And the specificities of I can never pronounce that. Of a former companion's exit from the TARDIS become pivotal, and it's kind of heartbreaking. What companion, Clara?
Do you know that this is the one probably out of all of them that intrigues me the most?
Yeah. I know I did
Adric.
post it. Adric!
They will witness his spaceship crashing into the planet.
And they will discover that they fracture the point. They go to Gallifrey and visit and then they extract him from the point in Earthshot.
Yeah, no, that's
and
right.
then everyone gets annoyed because it's kind of ruining Earthshot.
Well, you mean that Adric is actually saved with in between his last two heartbeats?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's it for teasers.
Yeah, no, I'm intrigued by that.
Anything else on the pilot you'd like to discuss?
I don't think so. I think I'm just looking forward for it.
Me too.
Am I looking forward for it more than I have done for other seasons?
Yeah.
Possibly not.
Well, probably for me because obviously I'm looking forward to it more than Series 9 because we've had that gap.
Yeah.
Not
no,
more than Series 8 because we had the new Doctor coming in there.
Yeah. I think I haven't got as high expectations. This
No,
season
neither
as
have
I
I.
did
Neither have
the
I.
last season, but having said that, that's quite a healthy thing, I think, because it means you're pleasantly surprised
Yes.
rather than being disappointed.
Or just you get what you expected.
Yeah. No,
And
that's
I
right.
mean, we don't. It's quite. you know, definitely when Chibnall comes into it, it's going to be very dangerous because we don't know what he's going to do with the show. We've got a new Doctor, new companion, new showrunner there.
Yeah,
so
well, we assume new companion, didn't we?
we assume new companion.
Yeah.
And I think this time we've only got Bill who's coming in, which we've never met before, and we've been used to Clara really because she's been in it so long.
I think it's the Bill factor's the bit that concerns me really.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people didn't necessarily like Clara as a character. I think it was mainly her as a character rather than Jenna Coleman.
Yeah, because Jenna Coleman was brilliant.
Yeah, and I think most people could see that she was really good.
Yeah.
But some people didn't like that.
How she was written and everything.
Yeah, no, indeed. And the fact that Clara was nearly as powerful as the Doctor himself.
Yeah, but that was sort of the arc of the series.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Anything else on the pilot? Or should we talk
No, just
about...
looking forward to it.
Yeah, let's talk about top things then.
Okay.
What?
Okay. No, it's just pointing you
sorry.
to stop you from clicking on things.
Top companion debuts we're going to talk about today.
Top companion debuts.
Because we
okay.
always do these when a series comes on. We do 12 new features about top things from history of Doctor Who. And we talk about the best things from that category. And I haven't figured out what we're going to do next week. Top Frank Cottrell voice episode.
Yeah, top robots, maybe.
Yes, top robots.
Good one.
We've not done companion debuts because we started this at Series 8 and obviously we've had Clara for all that time.
Yeah. No,
so we're going to talk about our top companion debuts, episodes and actual debut things.
Okay.
Do you want to start off?
Yeah, I think I'll start off with... I think the introduction... I really like Amy's introduction.
The 11th Hour.
Yeah, I mean, I do think, as I said on numerous occasions, as an overall episode, I think it's a bit overrated.
It is a bit, but it's good.
It's good, but a little bit overrated. But I really like the introduction of Amy. I like the way that they
she's
do
in a
that with...
police costume.
Well, there is that as well, yeah. She looks very nice. But also, I think the whole thing... I like the idea that he saw her as a child and then came back not appreciating that there's quite a big difference and couldn't believe that she'd grown up. I really like that. That's really good.
I'm going to go for an earthly child, actually,
Mhm.
because it introduces 3 companions, Susan, Barbara and Ian, and obviously it's the first episode of Doctor Who. And I think it's got a really good introduction for Ian and Barbara particularly.
Yeah.
Not one of my favourite companions, both of them, but they've got a very good backstory and very good idea to how they meet the Doctor. And it sort of begins everything for Doctor Who, and I love their introduction to the show there. And also the mystery of Susan that's shrouded in the story.
Okay, I mean another one I think, and as you know, I'm a big fan of the classic series, but I'm going to go for another New Who one.
Okay.
I think the way that they introduced Clara
I was going to go for that.
was really good because it took us all by surprise when she appeared in Asylum of the Daleks.
Yes.
I don't think any of us saw that coming at all. Did
No, we didn't.
And then from then onwards, through the Christmas special and then into the new series, it just had us for the whole of that first series actually, wondering who this character actually was.
I loved it when she popped up in Asylum.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant,
Amazing.
wasn't it? But it's very, very confusing, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. I'm going to say Rose, actually.
Yeah.
And again, not one of my favourite companions, but Rose is introduced very well, and it establishes her family, her friend, her life, and it also establishes Doctor Who through her eyes, kind of.
Yeah.
As she's sort of the shopping bit, and it sort of starts off New Who, and it's very good in that way. Her, how she witnesses all of this going on, this adventure, this mysterious man, and it's very, very good introduction to a companion from Rose.
Do you think that New Who does companion introductions better than Classic Who?
Yes, because it it takes more time at focusing on the companions, more so than the Doctor sometimes, because in Classic Who the companions were just there to ask questions and to scream and stuff.
Yeah.
But the companions nowadays, they usually have families, lives in social aspects and friends and all sorts of things outside of the world of Doctor Who. So I think it is a more important thing than it used to be, because companions stay longer now too. So it's a more important thing now when we get a companion introduced. It has been very important for us to see Bill for the first time.
I think, I mean, even thinking about like a companion like Sarah Jane, who's obviously one of the real biggies. You know, her introduction was fairly brief, really, wasn't it?
Yes, it
She
was.
Just like found herself into the TARDIS whilst investigating, and hey presto, she's travelling with them from then onwards. So.
I mean, Donna and Martha's introductions are quite established too.
Yeah.
So definitely Donna, there's a good introduction there.
Leela's is quite good, isn't it? Again, because it's introducing from a different race.
Yes,
you know?
that is good. Unique.
Yeah.
You notice we've chosen all of the companions. Most of them are the companions we like.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, another one that was quite good, and it was for an episode which was pants, but the introduction of Romana 1.
Yes.
The actual her introduction into it was really good.
Ribos Operation is just awful, bar the first 10 minutes when it introduces Romana.
And so, and I really like that. I really like the dialogue between the Doctor and
It's
Romana.
very funny.
Yeah.
It's the best bit in the Ribos Operation, because the other 3 parts and a half are just awful.
Yeah, no, I think that's right.
So.
Okay. Any other companions you wanted to talk
I
about?
don't think so, unless there's any you would like to mention.
No, not really. I mean, as I say, in terms of the old Classic Who ones, there's not really that many companion introductions that really jump out at all, is there?
There aren't, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Struggling to think of any. Having said that, I've not necessarily seen all of the
You
first
haven't.
episodes.
You haven't.
I mean, Perry's introduction was quite interesting, wasn't it, from memory?
Yeah, she almost drowns and
Yeah.
Turlo saves her.
Yeah. Turlo's introduction is quite an interesting one. Albeit it's a bit cringy the way it's done, isn't it?
Yeah,
But the
it's
actual...
interesting. It's a bit different.
Yeah, it is, yeah. But I guess as a companion he was quite different as well.
Yeah, he was.
I liked him.
Yeah, it's quite good.
Yeah.
And he's at London Film and Comic Con this year.
Yeah, we've booked our tickets today.
So we're coming to London Film and Comic Con, are you? So,
we're going to be there on Saturday the
29th.
28th,
30th.
isn't it? Saturday the 28th? No, it might be the 29th.
No, it's 29th.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 29th, Saturday 29th. We're going to be there all day at the Comic Con, and you can come and chat with us about Doctor Who and the podcast and all sorts of things if you really want to, and if you recognise us, we'd be very grateful.
Okay.
Yes.
Anything else to add on this one?
I don't think so.
Okay, well in that case, shall we take a breather and and we'll get on and talk a little bit about our review of Heaven Sent and Hell Bent.
So then, last week we ended the randomizer until the end of July. Yes, that seems a long time away, but we will be pressing the randomizer for the first time again on July the 8th. And watching it on July the 15th. That seems like a long time ago.
Doesn't it?
So
yeah.
Exactly 2 months until we get... Or is it 3? No, 3 months,
3 months
until we get the randomizer back.
Yeah.
So we've got Series 10 coming up for the next 3 months on our shows. And we thought to recap that, we'd watch Heaven Sent and Hell Bent, but we're going to do the reviews separately. And we're going to be talking about them shortly with 2 Good, 2 Bads and Twitter polls. And we're going to do the scores separately.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes, I think so.
And general opinions too. And synopsises from Mr. D. Cool himself.
Okay, well let's start off first of all then with Heaven Sent. So, we didn't watch Face of Raven, but it very much follows on from the ending of Face of Raven, where we saw the death of Clara Oswald. Surprisingly, or did we? Or did we?
Surprisingly.
So after witnessing her death, the Doctor's transported into this sort of glass chamber that's located in this large castle, which seems to be operated by clockwork gears. He's still very much shaken by Clara's death. He's really angry when he gets there, and he's really wanting to sort of teach the whole world a lesson, I think. He knows roughly the distance that the teleporter's capable of sending him, and what he's planning on doing is waiting till the stars come out for the first time so that he can work out his rough location. He starts investigating, and he finds sort of various video screens scattered all over the place, and there's this image of this frankly quite disturbing character, the Veil, which is a cloaked creature, I think presumably the old woman of his nightmares.
Yes.
Which is sort of following him around, stalking him around the building.
Is that a woman?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure, but it does. I think at some point, if I remember rightly, he makes mention to having had this dream about an old lady with flies all over her.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that is the
Veil.
character that's basically the Veil. So basically, sort of, there doesn't seem to be any way that that the Doctor can actually get away from the Veil, and so he sort of basically keeps on being confronted by it, and he realises that there's no way to escape death at all. But then in that final moment before he dies, he makes this sort of confession, and that halts everything.
Yes.
And so he soon sort of works out that actually a lot of this is about him confessing stuff.
Yes, it is.
I don't think I really need to say too much more about it.
Because it would spoil it.
It would spoil it. It's an episode where if you take it's like if you look at the synopsis for it, you'd think that's going to be a really boring episode.
Yeah.
But is it a boring episode, Lewis Moon?
No, it isn't, because it's very, very good. It's possibly one of the most cleverest and unique episodes in Doctor Who history.
Uh-huh.
It's a one-hander. It's just got the Doctor in, bar the slight cameos of Clara, and if you count the Veil as a character, but most people wouldn't, but he's credited, so...
And a little boy.
Yeah, but it's not credited in the credits.
Yeah.
The Peter Capaldi is absolutely fabulous in this, and it's Peter Capaldi's Doctor at his best. And he's so great in this. He's great in all of Doctor Who, and he is starting to become one of our favourite Doctors at Doctor Who Time and Space. So I'm hoping he's as good in series 10.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things that I think we talked about a little bit whilst we were watching it, which was, can you imagine any other actors that have portrayed the Doctor being able to pull off Heaven Sent?
No.
And it's difficult, isn't it? I can't really think. Tom Baker potentially.
Yeah.
And that's probably the only one, I think. However good a lot of the actors, Patrick Troughton, for instance, fantastic actor as a Doctor, but I just don't imagine he would have had the... I don't know how to explain it. I think a lot of it is about the way that Capaldi's Doctor is as a character.
Yes,
anyway.
it is.
Which is this sort of part angry old man, part jovial side to him. He's... Yeah, very interesting. What... do you think it is? Well, no. Actually, let's do too good, too bad, because that would probably lead into a bit of discussion.
I just wanted to say there's a lot of things in this episode which I love. Actually, I'll mention it here.
So too good, too bad, where we talk about two good things about the episode and two bad things about the episode.
Can I mention two good things, and can we do three good, please? Because there's three good things that make up the episode.
Three good, three bad. That doesn't work. It's a concept.
Oh yeah. No.
You've got to pick two, but you can talk about three.
Okay, I'm going to put Rachel Tallahaye's direction in this.
Yeah.
But I'd also like to talk about Stephen Moffat's writing for it.
Okay.
I think I might know what you're going to do, but you might be unexpected. I think Rachel Tallahaye, who's returning to direct The World Enough in Time and The Doctor Falls this year, has directed Dark Water, Death in Heaven and Heaven Sent Hell Bent, which are all superbly directed episodes, and she is shaping up to be one of the best directors in Doctor Who history.
Yeah, definitely.
What are your opinions on her direction?
Brilliant. No, I mean,
Yeah.
it does. It looks immense. Probably, it's really good in this one. It's probably even bigger in the opening sequences of Hal Bent, which we'll come on to.
It's always really good to see Rachel Tallahaye's name mentioned, and when you hear that Rachel Tallahaye's returning. I really do hope she's not going to leave when Chris Chibnall comes in, but I've got a sad feeling that she will, because she's sort of been a tradition now to direct the 2-part finale for Peter Capaldi.
Yeah. Okay. And the other one you wanted to mention was
Stephen Moffat's writing, because obviously he's done some of the greatest episodes of Doctor Who. Some people think he's completely lost it over the last few years, but this shows his talent as writer, and you know, he's going back to his classic form of writing.
I think it's a very clever idea, isn't it? The whole story, and it takes a long time for you to be able to work out. Well, certainly did me.
Yeah.
I might just be slow. I don't know.
No, it took me a long time too.
It took me a long time to work out what was happening at all.
Yes.
Too good. Okay, so if I was thinking about it, I think the best thing about it, you've already mentioned, which has got to be Capaldi and
Yes.
Capaldi's portrayal.
That's why I was leaving it up to you to say
Yeah,
that, because those are the three things that make up the episode.
Yeah, I think Capaldi is just phenomenal.
He is absolutely stunning.
In terms of the dialogue, the fact that he manages to pull off the whole Doctor talking to himself thing and make it seem believable is because if you think about it, it's in reality, if that was you or I, and we were running around, we wouldn't be providing this running commentary of what we were doing, would we? We'd be having that running commentary in our minds.
Yeah, I mean, Series 9 was one of the best series we've had in Doctor Who history, I think.
Yeah.
And this is one of the best ones in it.
Yeah.
It's good.
So I think that'd be mine. So that's 3 good.
Yes.
2 bad.
Can't think of one really. It's too dark for younger viewers. I'm going to put that in. And it's not the sort of episode you'd watch for a family-friendly show, which is such a shame because, you know, it's meant to be a family-friendly show, and it's the only bad thing I can think of that Series 9 is sadly, you know, quite adulty and not really what the Doctor Who was meant to be about, which I think Series 10 will take on the form of classic Doctor Who and what it's meant to be.
It's definitely, as an episode, it's far too dark for kids. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a very adult orientated theme, and it's very scary. I mean, another one we could have added in the Too Good, if we were doing 2 goods each, would be the Veil, which is a really interesting villain, if villain's the right phrase for it, because it obviously is a bit of a mishmash of the Doctor's past, isn't it? Doesn't actually say anything, doesn't really do very much.
No.
And, makes you jump on a number of occasions.
Yes, jump scares.
My bad would have to be. It's difficult. It's too difficult.
It's too difficult to think of a bad.
First time round when I watched it, and I've only seen it twice, so I only watched it. I watched it when it was on live.
Yeah.
And then I've watched it this week in preparation for the show. When I watched it live, my only downside I thought was that the end sequence, when you realise that he's been there quite a few times, I thought went on a little bit. But actually watching it again this time around, I didn't really find that so much. I think it was because I knew what the outcome was.
Yes.
And so my bad is just going to be that the whole sequence with him breaking through that diamond wall.
Yeah.
I like the concept of the whole bird concept.
Yes.
I'm not sure it's necessarily 100% plausible.
No.
And I think I would rather seen him, like, I don't know, chipping away at it. I didn't really like it with using his fist. I didn't like that whole sort of bloody hands thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
The whole thing of him crawling up the stairs.
Yeah, it's not so much the crawling
No.
bit, but I'm not sure. Would he really have just started punching that?
No,
that wall?
it's not really a doctorish
It's not
thing
not
to
his
do.
character. So I probably would have had him hitting it with something else. But it's a
Yeah.
very, very small
Tidbit.
complaint, because it is, without doubt, one of the best episodes of Doctor Who.
It is
ever
definitely
made.
for New Who.
Yeah, yeah.
And probably from the whole
I think
Who.
probably the only ones that rival it are Blink.
Yeah.
And the Doctor.
And Genesis.
In terms of New Who.
Oh,
sorry, I
yeah,
was thinking
sorry.
In terms of New Who.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think they're the only ones that really
There are
rival it.
more in Classic Who.
Yeah.
But if you're saying New Who, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else to say about Heaven Sent? I wouldn't necessarily recommend it as a first time one. What do the punters out there think of it?
We've got Marie from Twitter, and she said, I don't know enough superlatives to describe what I think of it.
Mm.
And let me get to the other person. 12th Doctor said, I love the fact that it was a single-hander.
Mm.
Um,
It was only. I remember on the lead up to it last season, where it was the episode probably of all of them that I wasn't necessarily looking forward to that much,
No.
because it was the synopsis wasn't particularly exciting.
no. By the way, thank you for your opinions, guys.
Yeah, it was just one way you knew it could go one of two ways. It could
Yes.
either be really good or it would be really rubbish.
Yeah.
I don't think it was ever going to be a Nair episode.
No,
And
no.
thankfully, through the quality of writing and direction and Capaldi's great performance,
Yep.
it was a success.
Yes, let's go to our Twitter poll then. We discover that it's 0% terrible, 6% alright, 12% good, and what a surprise, 82% fantastic.
Wowza, yeah.
And there's
That's
17
without
votes.
doubt the highest score we've had
For
in positives, I think.
our times doing this. We didn't
Yeah.
do it for some stories, like Blink, we haven't watched yet.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So that was the first part. It then leads in. I mean, it was a big spoiler alert, folks. If you haven't seen
Spoiler
it.
alert!
But
Spoiler alert!
eventually, through battering the diamond wall or door, whatever it was, for however many billion years, it eventually shatters to reveal on the other side Gallifrey.
Yes.
So, all the time, the Doctor's been trapped in the confession dial,
Yes, he has. For 4 billion years.
4 billion years, confessing, and the Time Lords have been trying to get out from him more information about what the hybrid is.
Yes.
The question is, was it ever worth it? Do you want me to do a quick synopsis of Hell Bent or not?
Do you want to?
I mean, just to keep it very, very
Yes,
brief.
'cause you
Doctor
don't wanna
arrives
spoil
on
anything.
Gallifrey, very, very angry. Time Lords, led by President Rassilon, come down to try and arrest him.
Yeah.
Doctor basically banishes Rassilon.
Who's Don Sumter turned from Timothy Dalton.
Yep. And the Doctor's cons them really into rescuing Clara from one heartbeat before she died, so that he can, or she can, reveal details of who this mysterious, or what this mysterious hybrid is. The Doctor then goes rogue, shoots the chief of security,
Yes.
and they do a bit of a runner. Basically, we find out that at the end of the time of the universe, Me is sat there, or Ashadu is sat there all on her own, and eventually, big spoiler alert, the Doctor discovers that for the safety of Clara, he needs to forget, or she needs to forget him and just get on and lead a normal life.
Yes.
She does something which reverses the polarity and it instead wipes his memory so he can't remember who she is.
Yeah.
And happily ever after, Ashildr and Clara float off into the sun
In the
with her
space
last, in a space diner with one beat of her heart left, frozen in time, and she's going on a bit of a detour before heading off to Gallifrey again.
Yes.
So, general thoughts on Hal Bent?
I think there are some things which annoy
Mm.
everyone about Hellbent, and I know. I mean, there are some positive opinions on IMDb. I mean, it's got a 9 on IMDb, which is shocking because lots of people hated this story. I mean, I think it's better than people say, but I know why people hate it because there are some things in there which annoy us, which we'll talk about more in the Too Good, Too Bad aspect.
It's very divisive, I think.
It is,
Isn't
yeah.
it?
It's like Marmite.
Yeah, it is, and I can see why.
And it's a very slow finale too for the series 9. It's very
is.
different to the other ones we've had.
It is. Again, following the theme that we had in the series wasn't really significantly about villains and threats. It was
No.
more around characters. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's leap straight into Too Good, Too Bad.
Yeah. We forgot to do scores for the last episode.
Okay, we'll pick them up at the end.
Yeah.
Too Good, Bad. For Hal Bent. So two good things and two bad things. One apiece.
I'd love to say the stunning look of Gallifrey. I mean, even though it's underused, I'm sure we'll talk about Gallifrey's use in the episode, but it looks brilliant in the episode. It looks stunning. It's Gallifrey looking at his best. Beautiful place.
Yeah, and which again I think it owes a lot to Rachel Tallahay, I think.
Yes,
in
it does.
the way she
in her
directed it.
direction, yeah.
I think my good
Yeah.
would be, as a big spaghetti western fan, I loved the feel of the episode because it did have a real spaghetti western feel to it.
It did.
Even down to Mary Gold's music. The actual, and this links back a little bit more to Heaven Sent rather than Hal Bent, but when the Doctor comes out into Gallifrey, the music goes very spaghetti western like, and it has an opening sequence with the young boy, not too dissimilar to the intro for A Fistful of Dollars.
Yes. Cool.
Okay, Too Bad.
I'm gonna say Clara. Now, Clara is the thing that's annoyed people, as we were talking about earlier, but the way how they brought her back after she appeared in. After she died in Face the Raven, in what I would say is one of the best companion exits.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant companion exit from Face the Raven. However, they completely spoil it by bringing her back, even though there's some nice character things between the Doctor and Clara.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of them wiping the Doctor's memory of her.
Yeah. Although it's also though you realise it's quite sad because
It's a waste of
they had a
time.
really great friendship, and he remembers the adventures, but he doesn't remember her part in them.
No, I
In
know.
itself, that's quite sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think if I was going to, well, I would say actually, it wouldn't surprise me if, as part of this series and as part of Capaldi's regeneration, if that doesn't rectify itself, I reckon similar to how we saw Amy with Matt Smith's regeneration, it wouldn't surprise me if we saw Clara.
Yeah, no.
I think my bad would be silly monster cameos.
Oh god, there's so many of these in Doctor Who. Silly monster cameos. Silly monster cameos.
I think there was not really any need for the Dalek saying exterminate me.
And then the Cyberman.
And
was
the Weeping Angel.
pointless.
It was pointless. It was as if they felt that the episode needed some form of threat because there wasn't really any threat throughout the whole thing.
No.
So, it just didn't work. I think I'd rather have had
threatening.
I'd rather have had the was it the
Cloister Wraiths.
Cloister Sliders or whatever they were called.
Cloister
wasn't it?
Wraiths.
Yeah.
Or the smart sliders.
I think I'd just rather have seen them being a bit more threatening, really, rather than seeing
Yeah.
Weeping Angels in there. Because what were they? Why were they there?
They were just pointless. You can kind of see why the Dalek was there because it was there in the Time War, but the Weeping Angel and the Cyberman, it's sort of a bit pointless.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't like that bit.
No,
I think
it's a
that bit's
bit
a bit rubbish.
useless monster cameos. Right, we'll have more of that in Series 10 probably. is that it for reviews?
Yeah, I mean, I still like Hellbent.
Yeah.
I still think it looks really, really
It's
good.
stunning.
There's a
Yeah.
few bits that are a bit mawkish in it,
Yeah.
but I like it. I like the. I know a lot of people don't like this bit, but I really love the fact that there's a TARDIS that looks like a diner.
It's very.
floating around.
We were in hysterics the first time and slightly less in the second time, but
I think the funniest bit is when you see the TARDIS fly off and then the diner flying off near it.
yeah, I know.
Afterwards, I really like that. It's a bit silly, but it works for me.
It does.
Yeah, but yeah. So as an episode, it's a great finale insofar as it rounds a lot of things off.
Yeah.
But it's not the most exciting in finales.
It
by
isn't.
any means.
No, definitely not.
So, I guess probably that's an argument you could voice from the majority of that season. Is that
Yes.
there were some great bits in it. It's probably my favourite of the New Who series, but it is very, very slow at times. And
Very.
and, you know, aside from Davros in the opening sequence, and potentially to a slightly lesser degree, the scary ghost-like creatures from Under the Lake.
Yeah.
The monsters or the villains all the way through are so badly
Used.
underused.
Did you say Zygons?
Oh, Zygons, actually. No, you're right. Zygons are a good
But
call.
say
But-
the Maya and Leandro and the Sandmen.
Yeah,
And the,
and even the Fisher King.
yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
You know, they're all really underused, so you
They
don't really
are.
ever feel a significant threat coming from them as you should
No,
do.
but I think we'll get that more in Series 10. We'll get a more
Mm.
threatening set of monsters, new and old.
Yeah.
Which I think they've got the perfect balance this year of new and old stories. Like, they've also got the perfect balance of past, present, future and alien
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah.
Should we go on to Twitter polls?
Yeah, what do people think of this one? Because
So-
as we say, it's a bit divisive.
So we've got 19% terrible, 9% alright, 36% good, and 36% fantastic.
So still quite a high fantastic rate there then,
It is.
36%.
Majority are tying with good and fantastic. So people do like the story more than I expected.
Yeah. I think as well, I think probably the people that don't like it is going to be a certain part of the fan base, I think.
Yeah.
I think particularly those... I'll tell you where I think it probably grates most, I think, with people that are real disciples of the classic series.
Yeah.
Because it does undo quite a lot of things that we've become accustomed to. So even in Heaven Sent, we've always had this view that the Doctor left Gallifrey because he was bored.
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden, all these years later, Stephen Moffat has decided that was a load of chuff, and instead he's left there because he was scared.
Yes.
So, you know, there's a few sort of instances like that.
Sorry, that's my ringtone. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I think that sums it up.
Yeah. Scores.
Scores, okay,
Heaven
so...
Sent first.
Heaven
or-
Sent first, yeah.
Okay. Monsters and villains.
The Veil is brilliant. I'm going to give
Yeah.
the Veil 9, actually.
Character development.
It's all about character development with the Doctor
Yeah.
and his confessions, and I'm going to give it 9.
Excitement
It's really exciting. It's going to get a 9.
and pace.
Fantastic pace. Yeah, it's going to get a 9.
Ooh. Yeah. And story.
Story. It's one of the best stories we've had in
Yeah.
Who. I mean, it's a simple story, but very, very
Yeah.
well done. It's going to get 9.
Okay, 45 out of 50.
Yeah.
So close to getting those top marks.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever going to get the top mark, is it? No story. Okay, overall as a whole,
As an overall, I'm going to give it about 9.5, I think.
I'm going to give it a solid 9.
Okay, yeah. I really
No, a
like it.
9.2.
I
9.2.
really like Heaven Sent. It's one of my favourite episodes of Who of any time.
Yes, 9.2 for
Yeah.
me.
Okay.
Hell Bent, monsters, villains.
When the Time Lords first come into it, they're quite threatening, but they're not really in it for very long. Do you know, I can only give it about a 7, I think.
Yeah. Character development.
Some good. There is some good character development in it. I'm not sure it's necessarily all needed. I think I'll give it an 8.
Excitement.
7,
Pace.
8.
And story.
7.
Okay, 37 out of 50.
Yeah, that seems fair.
That seems fair. Overall,
As the two together.
no, I mean for
Overall for help. Probably about, it's an 8 something, I would say. It is really good. There are a few things that annoy me more than your average episode, but not so much that I would give the whole story a really low rating like I did with Stolen Earth.
I would say 8.1.
Okay.
For this story.
Yeah.
Maybe 8.2.
Yeah. I think it was looking at it as a season as a whole, I think it was a very brave season.
It was.
I don't think it
was successful.
I don't think it was as successful as they would have liked. But I think it's a season that in years to come people will look back on it and realise quite how good it was.
Yeah, I mean we had some very experimental episodes, Sleep No More, Heaven Sent, they were very experimental, only one of those was good.
Yeah.
But you know.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay, good stuff.
So
that pretty much brings us to the end, doesn't it?
Yeah, the end of the show. So that was our big Series 10 preview show, which only means one thing. Next week, so we're doing it on Friday this week instead.
We are, that's right. Yeah.
So Friday the 21st, we will be doing our first Series 10 episode review, as we will be reviewing the pilot for the first time.
We'll be doing a preview for the second episode, which is called Smile.
Yes, this is episode 208, by the way.
Yeah.
We'll be doing our top robots from Doctor Who history.
Good idea.
Yes.
Category. And we'll be giving you some news and views, if there is very much.
Yes.
Including some feedback, I guess, on people's general thoughts on the opener.
Yeah, and stats.
Yeah.
And stuff for Smile. So, that'll be a very exciting show, one you better not miss, because it will be brilliant.
I've been Dr. Cool.
I've been Lewis Moon, and you can find us on Twitter at DRWho, time and space, as in N, by the way. And you can comment on us about Series 10, the pilot, or Smile, or anything Series 10, Heaven Sent, Hellbent, top companion debuts, top robots, anything. Feel free to.
Okay, you can also listen to the podcast if you're not listening to it on there at the moment. You can listen to it on Podomatic.
As well as YouTube at Miss Loose Moon.
Good.
Yes, and iTunes and Doctor Who Podcast Alliance at Doctor Time and Space.
Excellent stuff.
Yes.
Thank you very much for listening, everybody. I hope you enjoy the pilot.
Yes, I hope you enjoy it too. Make sure you don't miss it. Saturday 15th of April from 7:20. You'll probably be watching it on iPlayer or have watched it by now.
Plus... Sorry, I was just thinking you were going to be doing some videos as well.
Yes, tomorrow on Miss Loose Moon YouTube, I will be doing a video about the pilot and my first opinion of it, so you don't have to wait for my opinion, although my opinions change usually through the week, so I'll probably think it's better on the Sunday because I've been so excited about it for ages, and then think it's a terrible episode on the Friday. But you can hear Decool's opinion and mine in full, because I'll only be doing it as a 5-minute video or something, just to touch on my opinions of Bill and everything. And we'll talk about Bill and the pilot next week, as well as a maybe spoilerific Series 10 trailer. Probably not spoilerific because we already know probably what the spoiler is. Unless it shocks us.
Excellent. Okay.
So, we'll see you next time. Same
space.
Don't miss the pilot at 7:20. Goodbye.